What's going on, folks? Welcome to another preseason breakdown video. And on this episode, I got Hendrixx with me. What's going on, Hendrixx?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Today, we are breaking down the AFC North. So, without further ado, I think it's safe to start from the back and work our way to the front. And we'll conclude with Hendrix's favorite. So I'm going to start with the first one. They went 4-11. They went 4-11-1 last year. The Cincinnati Bengals. They added Thaddeus Moss, son of Randy Moss, Ricardo Allen, and I don't know why, but they got Eli Apple. They lost Giovanni Bernard. They drafted Jamar Chase. So, what can we expect from the offensive production now that, Cincinnati's got three top-tier college wide receivers? We'll see how it transitions to the NFL. They got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Auden Tate. How do you feel about that?
The problem with the Bengals isn't necessarily a receiving core. It's line give their quarterback Joe Burrow enough time. Joe Burrow can't take those hits he took in college, man. I know, people was like, oh, he gets hit and he does amazing things. That doesn't happen to AFC North, man. AFC North, you're gonna get hit. You're gonna get suffer. If you look, Baker doesn't really take hits. Lamar,
you can't even hit Lamar, and he's so fast.
Ben can hit. You're gonna get hurt if you hit Ben. Ben played with a broken nose, broken fingers, heel bone, broken toe, whatever. They gotta fix that line. They gotta fix that line.
I agree with you. I agree.
It doesn't even matter. They're who they have as receiver, because the Bengals have always had great receivers. They always had great receivers, but Carson probably the same thing. Carson kept getting sacked.
Yeah.
But I will say that they are on the up and up. They're another team that I say their record last year didn't really reflect them. Joe Burrow, for a rookie that was thrown into an already terrible situation, with a new head coach, he handled the games he played very well. He didn't look flustered. He didn't look like he shouldn't be there. He didn't look too young for the role. I mean, obviously he's like 30 years old, right?
Correct.
But, he looked very comfortable to be in honestly a very hectic situation. But they gotta fix that line.
Yeah, I'm with you. So you think over or under 6 wins this season?
Oh man, that's gonna be tough. They're in arguably the hardest division. The AFC North has always been a difficult division. You never know who's gonna lead the division until the very last game. You could be leading the division at 1:30 and then be out of playoffs at 4:00.
Yeah.
Yeah, and trust me, I've seen it happen.
I believe you.
So it's really gonna be hard to say. I don't really see their line. Their line doesn't look too good, man. And this is a town where this is a division where offensive lines matter. And if you don't think these defenses, of the Steelers, of the Ravens, and now the Browns sit down all day and just look at their line, who does what moves, you're a fool. Yeah. So I honestly, I don't see them going 500. 6 months, I thought you said 8. I definitely don't see them going 500. It's gonna be tough for them. I don't see them going 500. 6 months, yeah. I might have to look up their schedule. Matter of fact, I'm actually going to pull up their entire schedule because I'm just going off the division games.
I think they played Jacksonville this year.
Okay, so
That's
I got
one win.
I got their schedule right. I got a schedule. First game, the Vikings.
That's a
Then
loss.
then the Bears.
That's a
Then the
loss.
Steelers. Then the Steelers in Pittsburgh. So they're the Vikings at home, the Bears in Chicago, the Steelers in Pittsburgh,
They'll be 0-3.
the Jaguars. They got the Packers, but like I said, the Packers may not have Aaron Rodgers. So then the Lions, then the Ravens at home. Yeah,
They'll beat the Lions and they'll beat the Jags.
I don't see them. I don't see them. I don't see them going 500. They may not even get 6, but they didn't have the same record. But like I said, they also, but at least they know where they're lacking. It's not like before when the Bengals were just, terrible. Like, they didn't have any discipline. They're starting to get, a little more, controlled. So, plugging up a few pieces here and there. Like I said, the line. I see them coming up. 1 year fixes, but I mean, I see them maybe having similar.
And that now brings us to
4-12. I think the Bengals have the record for most ties. One tie a season.
And with that now brings us to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Last season, they went 12-4. They won the division, crazy enough. They didn't really have any additions. Their departures were Maurice Pouncey, who both the Pouncey twins retired. And they also lost Vance McDonald to retirement.
And they lost a big man. Villa. But you know what I'm talking about. Alejandro.
Who?
He went to the Ravens.
Oh, Villanueva.
Oh, I was right.
Wow. Oh, okay. Wow. They drafted Najee Harris. I'm not gonna lie. I like that draft pick.
I was a very good pick for them.
So, do you think he can win Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Harris?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Sorry, and you were saying, I was saying that, with Offensive Rookies of the Year, they tend to be flashy. Pittsburgh isn't a flashy team. They're a team that's going to beat you by, late in the quarter. They're not blowing their employees. They're not blowing people out, or they'll be down 21-0 at the half and come back and win 24-21.
Mm-hmm.
So. With that, I say maybe not. Rookies of the Year, they tend to be flashy, scoring touchdowns and very flashy, very flashy modes, 40-yard runs, 40-yard catches. Pittsburgh, they're going to get a last, thread the needle at the goal line for the game winner. So that thing I have against him actually winning the award, but being a offensive piece. That's what they need. I really feel like he's gonna be a very good offensive piece. But winning the award, I don't think Pittsburgh has a flashy enough offense.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you there. Yeah, and then also too, Mike Tomlin. He got that 3-year extension back on April 15th. So one of the longer tenured coaches in the league still stays with the team that hired him.
Yeah. It would be dumb to get rid of Tomlin. I mean,
very dumb.
How many times he's been down and brought that team when he gets that team back in it. Like he's a very good coach.
Exactly.
Very rare everyone can be here me their praise to the Steelers, but I really credit where credit due. Has brought that team back from situations that most coaches would have just kind of. So that was very smart on them.
I'm with you.
Especially in this division, because like I said, like you can even look at the records of last year. 1 win, that's it.
Yeah,
that's what matters.
And then here's the thing I will say that I respect about Pittsburgh. So I think here in the last 40, 50 years, they've only had let me not go that far back. I'm going to say here in the last 30 years. Well, yeah, we could say 40. Last 40 years, they've only had 3 coaches, I believe. Chuck Noll, not Mike Holmgren, but
Coach. We just call him Coach.
yeah, Coach, and then they've got Mike Tomlin. Like they've only had 3 coaches, so they know how to find that stability.
Very stable team. Like what you see is what you get with them year in year out. You want to get a heavy defense. A rush heavy offense. It's going to come down to the wire. And I've said even the Browns, even the old school Browns, and the Ravens clearly have modeled their game. Well, or the Ravens modeled their game after Pittsburgh. Right. It's not really a revolving door. I mean, you know what I mean by the old school Browns, like the 90s Browns, the early Browns, the 80s Browns. Yeah. You could not tell me they were not at least trying to do what Pittsburgh did. They came back in 2001, Lord knows Cleveland. They went through so much, but but the old Cleveland, they modeled their game after Pittsburgh. The Ravens clearly model their game after Pittsburgh. It's what you see is what you get with them. And it works.
Right.
It works.
Right.
Even 9-7 and still a threat.
That's very true. That's very true. And with that now brings us to the Cleveland Browns. Now that you mention it, last year they won 11-5. I believe they tied for second in the division with Baltimore. I believe Baltimore did finish in second statistically because Baltimore was better and won the last game.
Yeah, our last game was the Browns.
Yep,
that was the tiebreaker.
And then they added Jadeveon Clowney. They lost Adrian Claiborne. They lost Sheldon Richardson. They drafted Greg Newsome in second. Say again?
Jadeveon Clowney was a very good pickup for them.
Oh, yeah, he was. He was fantastic. I like that.
That's going to be a scary defense.
Exactly. You got him. You got him coming off one end. You got Myles Garrett coming off the other end.
True. And I know in college I'm a Michigan fan, but if it's one person I'm scared of.
Jadeveon Clowney.
I know exactly how he gets off the line.
It's funny. Yeah. I guess Mason Rudolph, he better make sure his helmet's strapped on.
Oh man! They don't crack him even if he's on the bench. His best hope is that Ben stays healthy.
Oh, exactly. How important is it that Odell Beckham Jr. gets back to 100% for this offense to reach its full potential?
It's crazy. I want to say they're better off without him.
Really?
I'm gonna say they're better off without him. I mean, look at last year. Look at the year before. OBJ, in my opinion, is a distraction, man. He's a distraction. He disrupts the chemistry of the team because he's a prima donna. I know I sound like Stephen A, but in my personal opinion, they're better off without him.
Low key, you got a point.
Yeah, I know like he has that thing with homeboy, but the Browns are doing better with OBJ. You can't have two prima donnas. I already got Baker.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Baker ended up playing his best football. Like
if I'm being completely honest, what has OBJ done other than the catch in his career?
You got a point. You playing a dangerous game, but you got a point.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this before we move on. Would you consider Cleveland to be a sleeper to win the division?
I would not. Cleveland came out last year and they came out strong, but with John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin, they're very good coaches and they make very good adjustments. The things that worked for Cleveland last year ain't gonna work this year. That was last year, okay. It's not gonna work this year. Yeah, as you can see with the end of the season, I believe. They swept Pittsburgh last year, and they went 1-on-1 with the Ravens. But like I said, these are two very good coaches who are very good at making adjustments. if and I don't see Cleveland as a team, you know, overcoming that. I don't
Right.
think they're going to win the division. I think they're going to have a strong record. I definitely see them going over 500, maybe even having 10 wins. But like I said, this is a one-win division. So if Ravens or Steelers go 12-4, and the other one goes 11-5, and you go 10-6, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you're third place and you're getting a wild card spot,
Yeah.
likely.
Yeah,
Well,
but
with the expanded playoff
your
field
question was
now.
yeah, but your question was winning the division. I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen.
I
Mm-hmm.
feel you. I can respect that. I
Unless
respect that.
I mean that's unless there's a serious injury on forbid either the Ravens or the Steelers. But I don't if either team has a healthy quarterback, main pieces, no, not at all.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and that now brings us to the 11-5 and your team, the Baltimore Ravens. Last year they finished second in the division. They added Sammy Watkins. They traded Orlando Brown, which I don't know
Hurts.
why they. I don't know why they traded Zeus
That
Brown's son.
hurt. That hurt.
I couldn't
Especially
believe
with
that.
my other big man getting hurt. Stanley hurt. You know, then trading
Stanley.
Orlando. Yeah, Ronnie Stanley got hurt last year, which, as you can see, put a really big dent in our offense. And the way we ran it, but just like I said, in Ozzy we trust. I trust Eric. I trust DaCosta, man. He sees things. He had very good mentorship. So I've just been learning to go with the flow. But yeah, I ain't gonna say it didn't hurt. But I do like Sammy Watkins picked up. Um, my only thing is, we the Ravens have with their passing. I feel like Lamar's been getting coddled. He gets coddled. He's not flicking the ball out like he should. All right,
I
it's good.
feel that.
It's good to have faith in your quarterback, but I feel like now it's getting borderline coddled. Like I hope we use him. Don't get me wrong, he's a way better piece than Willie Snead. Even though Willie Snead was a role player, he's a way bigger guy. Was causing blockage. You let him go. That's 10, 15 yards. Sammy Watkins is going to get more than 10, 15 yards. He's gonna get out of it. He's not going to be a heavy blocker. But it all depends on if we get on Lamar and they say, "Hey man, you got a wide receiver. You got to look for your receiver. You got to go through your reads."
Right. I'm actually glad you said that because before I ask this question, they also lost Mark Ingram. They drafted Tylan Wallace, who is one of the better receivers in the Big 12 out of Oklahoma State.
Uh-huh.
But let me ask you this: how vital is it for them to give Lamar Jackson that extension? Because I believe he did get the 5th-year extension or the 5th-year option.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, how vital is it for them to give Lamar that extension?
Oh, we've already put our offense around him. Like we have to keep Lamar at this point.
Yeah.
But like I said, we got shit to Colin. But don't get me wrong, it's not like Lamar has each year we get further and further in the playoff. He's had amazing seasons, regular season, other teams. But
yeah,
it's getting to that time where and I'm speaking about his accomplishments. I'm speaking towards his play and his decision making. I feel like when Lamar makes a bad decision, they're like, "Oh, it's okay, Lamar. Just sit down. Don't do that again because we have a strong defense." But we can't rely on that defense, man. Can't rely on the defense. The defense is good, but you can't rely on it. And I say we have to. I do believe that we do need to give that it was vital for us to give him that extension. We built our offense around him. Taking him out would literally demolish the team. But over time, we're gonna have to stop the coddling. We're gonna have he has to put more effort in the pass game. Stop second guessing himself. I see him when he goes to the reads. He second guesses himself, which is expected with any third-year quarterback. But and like I said, this isn't a harsh criticism. It's not even a criticism of the coaching. But they're gonna have to get past that because later on it'll be a problem. because
Oh yeah,
they
I
coddled
agree.
Flacco. Yeah, they coddled Flacco. Flacco was doing great. And he won a Super Bowl though. And then that's when the coddling happened. It was like, oh, you won a Super Bowl, you're good. But he won a Super Bowl. But I feel like with Lamar, he's more than just a playoff quarterback. He has to like actually, we lost what 5 games,
Yeah,
and
11-5.
I'm not gonna say they were all Lamar's fault, but some of those games were Lamar's fault, man, because he was second guessing himself. He was, oh, do I run? Do I pass? Do I do this? Oh, Hollywood's not open. What do I do? Oh, I believe one of our tight ends got hurt and he looked lost.
No, I'm not
I
gonna
know.
lie. Not gonna lie. Mark Andrews, he came in handy. He got me some fantasy points.
Oh yeah, he definitely did. But as far as Lamar second guessing himself, he's gonna have to break out of that. He has to be more concrete. But no, they have to give him a sentence. They built their whole offense around him. That that run game is based on half their formations. Play calling.
Right.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. And I believe one of the best things that happened was that Mark Ingram trade, though, because with Mark Ingram and then Lamar, Mark Ingram was really good on reading that play acting fake, and because he was so big and strong, you couldn't tell if he had the ball. It's going to take that element out of the play call. So I'd say it, but Mark Ingram leaving may actually make Lamar do or die. Passing. They were like, do I have it? Do I not? Because people are trying to pick up on Lamar, like, oh, he's gonna run it because he always runs it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And with that, before we wrap this up, let me ask you this: what's your order of finish for the division?
Aye.
Oh, man. I know I'm getting the wheels turning today.
Okay. But in my opinion, what the Ravens have been doing, I definitely see, it's so hard with them because I can't pick between the Ravens and the Steelers, not just because of the favoritism thing. It's because this is a one-win division. Like one win defines it all. But just so I don't put any bad karma on it, I'm going to go ahead and say my Ravens, number 1, Pittsburgh, number 2, but like I said, close, maybe even within a half a game. Cleveland, a definite 3, and the Bengals, a definite 4.
Okay. I'm going to go down that same road. And the only reason I'm going to
Pittsburgh is because Ben's getting old. He's getting hurt, and he's getting predictable. And I feel like these defenses are, Cleveland has an excellent defense. Their defense is stepping up, and the Ravens have an excellent defense. And they stuck together, and they both of them have that we can do this mentality. It's not like back in the day when Cleveland was a joke. Like they both have that we can do this mentality. And Ben's getting predictable.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go Baltimore, Cleveland, and then I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. And I only say Pittsburgh's going to finish in third because towards the end of last year and even into the playoffs, we saw where Cleveland was starting to get the better of Pittsburgh.
And then Pittsburgh, that Jadeveon Clowney pickup is also going to play a major part.
Exactly. And then the fact of the matter, too, was late in the season, Pittsburgh's wide receivers had a case of the drops. So, I don't know how that's going to carry over into this season. I like what the hostility that's brewing back up between Pittsburgh and Cleveland. So we're going to see where that goes. And then, I got Cincinnati finishing in DFL. I like Joe Burrow, but I'm going to be honest. I just got to be honest.
Yeah, he needs a line.
Yes, absolutely. But folks, that's going to do it for us on this episode. I hope you've enjoyed. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay close because we got other videos coming for y'all. I want to thank Hendrixx for joining me today for this episode. I appreciate you, Hendrixx.
I appreciate you as well. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay blessed out there. We'll see you on the next episode.